And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Been Rollin' playing the Old Republic. By now, you guys have hopefully had a chance to see the video about, well, of me not being so happy about the free-to-play happenings for this game. I think it's crap, but hey. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? Problem I really have with it is that everything that they're making free is basically what I've been recording and paying for. Oh, come on.
This'll hurt you a lot more than me.
Let me get the last thing I need here. Well, it's not the last, but we need one more. See, I know there's a multi-stage bonus to this, and I'm not doing the that. But the last one I need for the actual quest is right over here. Tag this. Alright, we're done over here. Everything else says go back. Well, not go back, but go to the next area. So I'm going to leave.
You picked on the wrong girl.
I guess we'll turn in what we have, and then we'll move forward. Sounds like a good plan. So let's do that. And I guess I could use this as an opportunity to pontificate or expand upon my feelings on the issue at hand with the free-to-play thing. What you see in a lot of free-to-play games is kind of, well, let's just call it horrible things to spend money on. The horrible things to spend money on usually include some kind of, you know, they call it personal customization, but really it's, you know, giving your character wings or something, you know, things that don't belong, ultimately. And really, it's kind of sad when you think about it that way, but really, I mean, that's what it is. We got mail. Feel free to pause, read, all that fun stuff. Let's see, we gotta turn in here. We get both. But it kind of creates a artificial market bubble, because now, you know, people will spend their cartel coins on getting these things, such as, you know, personal customization things, throwing them on the auction house, you know, selling them for ridiculous amounts of money, and someone will buy it. But then more people will try doing that, and more people will start spending money that way, meaning that basically it will overinflate the prices of pretty much everything, because with that, people will start to see, oh, there's money available, and you know, you end up with that. On top of which, there's I hate free to play. You're gonna have things you can buy with the cartel coins, such as experience boosts, um, which really you already get from your legacy, but apparently that's not good enough. Um, and all new content, you're gonna have to either use the cartel coins, or B, that's where the subscription model is coming in, or however it is they're actually going to do this. They haven't been completely straightforward with here's the complete model. They've only given very basic stuff as far as what's a one-time fee, what's $15 a month, what's absolutely free, what's going to be taken away from you as far as only playing free, things of that nature. And well, yes, it certainly does give people who didn't think to ever play this game, or wanted to for whatever reason, but decided not to after the first couple of months, and well, listen to all the moans and complaints going on, just went, you know what, not worth it. But the problem is that launch is launch, just like beta is beta. And the fact that people can't understand what launch means, it means that no game, not since the advent of patches, is without, its errors and bugs on day one. That includes all the games you buy Tuesday for your PlayStation, Xbox, all that fun stuff, because when you get home and you put it in, oh, there's a game update, 1.01. Yeah, that's usually to fix bugs. Why are you pointing me back? Defeat leaders. I don't care. Quit. I'm trying to talk here. Quit trying to tell me I have quests in places that I don't. Come on. Use. There it is. Good grief.
Rachel, if you find this log, I'm probably dead. I'm on the delivery run to Belsavis, and things are looking sketchy. I got the laser drills past the contraband scans, but I was dumb and took some fire from automated defenses right off the planet. My comlink's not working, so I can't talk my way out of trouble if I'm spotted. Which means I could get shut down. If I do, find out if Hallen got his drills from the wreckage, and get that crime lord scumbag to pay up. You're a tough girl, Rachel. A damn good partner. I love you. Out.
Now, as a fellow smuggler, why would I destroy these drills? Would I not find a way to take them with me? I mean, that just kind of seems, more like what a smuggler would do. Oh, you don't like that I'm blowing them up? Sorry. Actually loot. There you go. But yeah, I mean, free to play, I realize that, they look at, social gaming and, all the Farmville, the Maple Story, the, all that stuff. What was that other one? I had another one. Wizard 101 or whatever that was called. And looks at all the money that those made and goes, oh, well, we can still, salvage this and make that money. No. Because when you go free to play from a subscriber base, what you don't realize is that you alienate those who did stick by you, those who, put their money on the line, bought the collector's edition, bought the game, have paid their subscription, since day one. And now you're going to tell them that you're giving up when they haven't. They just gave you the player base that you have to build off of, not the player base that you have to run away from. So, don't really see the point. But, whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do. On top of which, people point to, balancing problems. Every game has balancing problems. Ask every rogue in World of Warcraft, other than Swifty. Ask, people who played in vanilla, people in World of Warcraft, or Burning Crusades. Ask about Ret Paladins. Ask about, there are so many things that, people are going to have a problem with as far as balance problems.
I have the results from your scanner.
Kia sa to punyo. Tuana uba kili wata pangkidanko padogalola. Te bisa kakuka peme wata.
All right. What's the next step?
Mukili makolunki ne at bompa bushuda. Fipanaiga twipi tai boka donko wanawanga. Kokutichoski nawi kuchusi yomata chi pompota.
And I think it was actually Sacred, one of Swifty's partners, who gave reasons why he was quitting SWTOR. I'll say this before I hand in this next quest. That the whole what do you compare this to in WoW terms? Do you compare this to 1.0 or do you compare this to 4.3? And I think the problem is that neither side realizes this, but you compare it to both. Because, you compare it to 1.0 at launch, is like when Star Wars launched, because that's the kind of launch you're going to have. Even if you're looking at it at a 4.0 stance. When Cataclysm first came out, there were bugs, there were balancing issues, there was, a limited amount of content, there was... people ran out of things to do after a week into Cataclysm. They just shot that guy. And it was the same way here. But at the same time, you kind of have to compare it to, the 4.3 at the same time. Okay, now how much content do you have? How much do you have that is challenging your top-end players versus your mid-range players versus your, low-end players? Now, what I mean by top-end, low-end, all that fun stuff is, one, amount of time you play, B, skill level, and C, what you were trying to get out of it in the first place. Top-end players, want to see end-game content almost day one. Like, that is their goal, is to, goal number one, figure out exactly how their class works, what their cast rotation is. That's something that's always in your mind as a top-end raider, top-end player, and even top-end PvP player. You know, you want to know what works is like, even in PvP, you want to know what works against a knight slash warrior versus what cast rotation you use versus a inquisitor slash consular. And even more to that point, a stealthy backstab consular inquisitor or a casty. You know, those are a lot of the things that top players are always looking at, always looking for, not just you know, going on everyone's sites, looking at all these things and going, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna copy and paste. You don't copy and paste when you're top end. You create and let everybody else copy and paste. Not that copying and pasting is a bad idea, but
I destroyed the cargo. Turns out, it was a smuggler ship delivering laser drills to some crime lord. You foiled an escape attempt.
See? Just like I said.
Thank the stars. And thank you. Those drills could have been a fast track to freedom for the Eshka.
Looks like you won't have to worry about that.
You have our thanks. Stay safe out there.
you know, but I mean, as far as this game goes, I think having 2, maybe 3 level 50 characters, you know, you'd be fine. You know, if you're looking to have, you know, gathering alts, easy to do. If you're looking to have, you know, a bank alt and all that fun stuff, you know, still all doable stuff, while having a while having a raider and all that fun stuff. But you know, most people look at this game and, you know, feel it's a little too WoW-centric. And really, you do have a point when you say that this game is WoW-centric because, you know, okay, there is no auto-attack. Big deal. You know, when you take out auto-attack, that just means you make all the abilities hit just a little bit harder. Or you make all the enemies just a little bit weaker, and that takes care of auto-attack. You know, and now you're not theory crafting about, you know, accuracy and auto-attacks. Now you're theory crafting about accuracy with, you know, all your attacks. Come on, you stupid elevator. But for the most part, you know, I haven't rated, so I can't really say much as far as the endgame content in this game. So I'm not going to desperately try to defend this game. But at the same time, from what we have been a part of, what we have taken part in, it hasn't been that bad. You know, bugs, well, we found, you know, some doozies. You know, look at the, what was it, the end of Chapter 1 on the agent? Yeah, that was fun. But that's not, you know, something that's the end-all, be-all of the game. You know, that's one problem that one class has to deal with. And most of the other classes get to just completely ignore it. You know, and I think that you know, if and it's pretty easy to tell from reading everything and looking at everything that it's EA that's pulling this trigger and not BioWare, because EA pulled the trigger with the whole, you know, raising the level cap and basically making them create the game too fast and do too much too quickly. So instead of creating the game that, you know, they wanted to create, they don't have that opportunity anymore. You know, and I think that in particular is part of the whole creator versus publisher problem that, you know, we've been seeing for a while now. You know, because there was this whole big thing of, you know, people buying up people and, you know, this whole mentality that that's what publishers had to do and had to become, and really it's just caused nothing but problems when it comes to gamers. You know, and now all of a sudden you're getting games that are subpar, you're getting games that are, you know, sequel number 17. And yes, that is a Call of Duty slap. You know, you're getting a lot of unoriginal ideas and a lot of games where you do have one original idea, but that's all the game is. Like, everything else about the game is just like every other, you know, first-person, third-person shooter, or, you know, cover mechanic system, or, you know, insert genre type here. And that's exactly what it is. And I think that the creativity level of games has severely diminished to where, you know, you're not going to see a game like you did back in the day where the... God, what was the name of it? Busby? The squirrel, the English, said the C word a lot. Stuff like that, you're not going to see so much of anymore. Where it was, you know, it was still a platformer, but every second you were something happened and you were laughing and enjoying your experience, and, you know, you felt like you were a part of something kind of unique. Whereas now it's, you know, Banjo and Kazooie 17. And that is an actual Banjo and Kazooie slap. Even though I don't even think they're making many of those games anymore, are they? Ah, crap.
This is your last mistake.
But I mean, even digging back into, you know, old school games like King's Quest and Space Quest and games of that nature, that went from being, you know, innovative and unique to being just another one of those games. And, you know, as much as I love those games, to a point you kind of see where it stopped being something new and different and unique and started becoming something, well, exactly the same as the last one.
Das Matzenke Hijom. Maestrame Humuba. Zinesti Hidruli. Das Bruli Fehedan Dankwa. Me Bagadres Pastiatan Elbines for Costinti. Das BLB and Tisere Basamana. Ibn Frekta mi fil Töfnama Kape.
But, I mean, there's always going to be problems with the industry because, I mean, if you look at the history of video games, you might as well, just tie in the history of comics because it follows the same line of, okay, who owns what? Zampella and West versus, Activision for the whole Call of Duty thing. Which is, Sony versus Marvel for, what was it? The TV show version of Spider-Man, I think it was?
This'll hurt you a lot more than me.
I mean, it's eerie how much you can look at the history of comics and see exactly what is happening in video games even today and say, 30 years ago, that's exactly where, comics were. There was the comic code, we have the ESRB. Don't back up, you jerk. I'm not trying to pull a second group.
Not gonna make it.
You're gonna be fine. So all I have to do is to heal you is that. See, I have to go to the other side for the last one. But yeah, I don't think I have much more to rant about at the moment. At least to add to the rant. I'm sure I could rant more, but at this point, I don't think I'd be saying anything new that hasn't already been either by me or someone I don't know about. That someone will put in the comments below. Oh, this person said it. I don't know that that person said it. I've tried not to look at any of anyone else's comments on the subject until I've said my piece. And then I look around and go, oh, this person agrees with me, this person disagrees with me. Fair enough. I just take that back, don't I? See, let's find Ivory. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess that's what we'll head to next. Of course, that'll be a new episode, since we're fastly approaching 30 minutes. So I'm going to end this here. I apologize if, my rant got in the way of the game. But I needed to get it off my chest so that I could get back to, things at hand. And, yeah. Tell me what you think in the comments below, all that fun stuff. Please subscribe. And as always, I will see you next time as I get back to the business of actually playing games.
This is your last mistake.
If you can call that business. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Bye-bye.